I'm going to paint the background wet on dry, using a variety of different greens. Starting off with some cyan blue, some cobalt blue, and some cerulean blue. Rinsing my brush, this is cadmium yellow deep, and I'm mixing it in to the cyan blue to get a green and a yellow green. You get a yellow green by adding more yellow. Still using the cyan blue, I'm using the cadmium yellow pale here. And you can see there you get a slightly different green. I've still got a green and a yellow green. Now I'm mixing up the cadmium yellow deep with the cobalt blue. You can see it's a lot warmer. So I've got a green and again a yellow green by adding more yellow. Next I'm going to use the cerulean with the cadmium yellow pale, and again I've got a green and a yellow green there at the top. So I'm going to mix up the yellow oxide with the cyan blue. Yellow oxide's more like an earthy green, like a yellow ochre. So again, I'm sort of using a variety of different percentages of paint to create dark, medium and light greens. Here I'm using Paynes grey with the yellow oxide to create sort of a really neutral dark green. So this is really dark with lots of Paynes grey, and I'm now mixing up the yellow oxide with a pinch of the Paynes grey. So you've got a lovely earthy brown colour almost. So using a flat 3/4 inch brush, I'm loading up a sort of a yellow green at the top here, painting wet on dry. So these are all the pale colours here at the top. This painting is from my imagination. So just adding all these sort of light greens to begin with here. Keep loading your brush with plenty of paint. And to paint loose with an impressionistic style in acrylics or any sort of painting, oils, etc., just use lots of different sort of strokes and really vary the colours and have fun with it, especially if you're a beginner. Just applying the paint can be all you need at this stage. I've just watered down this a little bit because it was drying a little bit too quickly. So you really have to load your brush and apply the paint. Always mix plenty of paint as well. And don't labour the paint too long, just keep loading that brush with fresh paint. And as you can see, I'm working my way down to kind of like the foreground, making the colours a little bit stronger and just varying them again and varying the sort of angles of the brush strokes here. Working my way down to the bottom of the painting, which is the foreground area. So the tonal values are a little stronger and there's more contrast. So adding some of that lovely warmer green there, the cadmium yellow deep with the cobalt blue, and just working my way down to the bottom. So here I'm sort of building up in layers. This is the first layer, which is almost quite abstract, and it's great because you can just have some fun with it. Remember, keep loading that brush, don't labour that paint. There's a little bit of the darker paint here right in the foreground to create depth. A little bit more cobalt blue here, Paynes grey with some of the yellow just at the bottom there to create some darker grasses. And now just adding a few of those darks here and there in the painting, using the edge of my brush as well, mixing up a little bit more darks and details. And as I go off into the distance, the marks get smaller, as you can see there. Again, just vary them, vary the direction, etc. I love working with flat brushes and acrylics as well. They can be so versatile, using the whole of the brush, the tip of the brush, the side of the brush, just experimenting with brush marks. Mixing up some more of that Paynes grey with some of the greens there and just painting some darker marks in the foreground here and there, using the tip of the brush and the side of the brush as well, just building up the detail here in this first stage. I've swapped to a rigger brush just to paint long, thin lines, building up details here and using some of that darker green as well. If you notice, I continually just keep getting fresh paint. So again, you don't labour the acrylic paint. As you can see here, I've gone back to sort of my flat brush again, and I'm mixing up lighter greens at the top here and just sort of building up the detail, as you can see, sort of from that very sort of light initial sort of washes, and now getting in these sort of details here, still using all of those colours, varying those greens and marks. I'm going to let the painting dry now, and what I'm going to use is an old piece of cardboard. I'm going to use the straight edge, and I'm tapping it in to the light green paint, and I'm printing long stems here. It's a really nice way of painting this sort of detail. I'm also going to mix up a light colour here using the cadmium yellow pale with a pinch of blue. As you saw there, I put it on the edge of the cardboard, and I'm just printing here wet on dry. Why I use card or cardboard is because you can bend it to create more natural looking stems, and I'm just sort of changing the shapes here and there, working wet on dry. So as you can see, it's really effective. It gives you these beautiful stems. So I'm just reapplying some more paint and then printing. And as you can see, the lighter paint really shows against the darker background. So acrylics here, I'm working sort of dark to light. So these lighter colours are coming forward away from that darker background. Acrylics are an opaque medium. That means you can't see through them like you could with watercolours. So make sure you use lots of thick paint and no water, because water will make it transparent, and just create lots of detail using the card, varying the colours. What I'm doing now is I'm just using a small brush and painting small leaves with the yellow with a pinch of blue. So load your brush and paint a few leaves, and then load your brush again. I'm now adding some white here, using my flat brush, the edge of the brush, to paint some daisy petals wet on dry, right at the top of the painting here. So the marks are smaller because at the top it's more in the distance, so it's further away, so make smaller marks. As you come into the middle distance, you want to make bigger marks, and as you come into the foreground, bigger again, and that will create depth in your painting. Next, I'm going to paint the poppies. I am using cadmium red and I'm painting wet on dry. And I'm just painting very simple marks, sort of curvy kind of marks here and there. Bigger in the middle ground and even bigger in the foreground and smaller as we go off into the distance. Vary the shapes. As you saw there, I added some more daisies, more petals, more details, especially in the foreground, using the flat brush with white titanium paint. What I'm doing now is adding yellow to the red to make an orange, and I'm painting this wet into wet and blending with my fingertips to create a lighter sort of mark there on the right hand side, so the light's coming from the right and above there. So again, applying and blending with my fingertips. Adding a little bit more red here to the left, wet into wet here and there and underneath, just to create a little bit of depth with the poppies, bringing them to life. Bigger marks in the foreground, smaller marks in the distance. Mixing up some limey green here, the yellow with a pinch of blue, and adding some more lighter green details in the middle distance here. Wet on dry using that flat brush. Swapping back to the rigger, painting thin lines here and there, pretty much wet on dry. I'm mixing up some of the Paynes grey now, and I'm going to paint some darks with a pinch of the red in the poppies in the centres here, just to give a little bit of detail. And I'm using my rigger and I'm painting onto the wet paint here. So mixing up a little bit more of the blue with the yellow here with a pinch of Paynes grey. A little bit more yellow there. So I've got a mid to dark green. And I am painting some buds or seed heads here, especially in the middle ground and the foreground area, varying the colours. This sort of dark colour popping out from some of the light colours. And I'm using my rigger brush painting wet on dry. Next, I'm using the yellow with a pinch of red, and I'm painting the centres of the daisies pretty much wet on dry using the rigger brush. Bigger marks in the foreground and gradually get smaller as they go to the middle ground and then to the distance. And I'm just building up this detail using lighter colours, and these will pop from the background here. So still using the rigger, adding some more white to the petals here and there, just to bring them to life, making them bigger in the foreground here. Just adding a little bit more red details here and there on the petals, especially those foreground petals, to bring them forward away from the background. I'm using my rigger and just red paint straight from the tube here. And now I am mixing up some of the Paynes grey with a little bit of the Cyan blue with some yellow to make a delicious dark green. I'm just adding some darker stems with my rigger, wet on dry, coming from mainly from the poppies, so to pull them again away from the background. I'm mixing up white with the yellow with a pinch of blue, so it's a very light pale green, and I am painting these very light stems wet on dry in the foreground area, really to create depth in the painting. So I've gradually worked sort of dark mid-tones and now to this lighter tone, actually spattering now a little bit of red paint, so I've added some water to it just to make it easier to spatter. And this is to create the illusion of small poppies in the distance and seed heads in the middle distance and even in the foreground. I've added a pinch of water to the white, and I'm using the rigger to spatter some white paint in the distance to create sparkle and light. I'm also going to do that in the foreground and middle distance to finish off my painting. I'm removing the washi tape. It reveals a lovely white border, and it's a really nice way of presenting your work if you're not going to frame it. I also find it useful as a way of looking to see if I need to do any more to my painting, but I think I'll leave it there for now. I really hope you enjoyed this step-by-step loose acrylic wildflowers tutorial straight from my imagination. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments section. And if you'd like to support the content that I create here on YouTube, why not think about joining my Patreon membership? Just click Patreon in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Happy painting. Bye for now.